I am surrounded by flames. It actually took us a while to get to this point because the visibility was so poor. Lots of embers, lots of smoke. That wind is really ripping and roaring. There are flames shooting up right in front of me. Back here on TV Hill, we are monitoring the conditions for you. It's a very startling sight to look up there and see that. So if you don't feel safe, get out. I can say when I was up there, I had to apply that same mindset when I was out there getting footage. So really heed those warnings and find an exit route to get out of where you need to be. And we'll continue to bring you the very latest here in Santa Barbara. Hey Beth, I am at a private residence on Rim Road on a private balcony with an incredible vantage point. I can hear the hand crews right below me with chainsaws trying to knock down some of this vegetation. You can see where those retardant drops took place. You can see that smoke just billowing up the hillside. I did have a chance to speak with Public Information Officer Michael Eliason as we were driving up the ridgeline, and he said right now this fire is really burning back up the hillside. So of course their main concern is to halt that progress so it does not make it over on the other side, so to speak. But just looking at this shot right now, you can really get a feel for just the devastation and the terrain and the elements that we are dealing with here. Right now, you can see that smoke continue to billow up. You can see that charred landscape. And if we wait a while, we can definitely get some aircraft drops. Those have been whirling over our head all morning. And I did speak to the firefighters. They said that when this smoke picks up like this, they have to be really careful with the visibility. So it's touch and go with the air support. If the smoke gets too packed in there, they have to call it off. So they're really closely monitoring those conditions and keeping a close eye on the wind. But it definitely very cold up here, and that wind is, I can feel that brisk breeze on my face, and I can hear an aircraft just around. There we go. There is a helicopter right there on your screen coming in to do a drop right there, really trying to attack those flames and really trying to get a handle on that. You see that right there. That has been continuous. There we go. That has been happening all morning. At the press conference with first responders, we were told that firefighters from Monterey to San Bernardino were here battling these flames. Crews started at 4:30 p.m. yesterday. A lot of them are still out on the front lines, and we do have air support. We have some help from Los Angeles County, and we have different aircrafts coming in, and that air support, I'm told, is really crucial in this firefight. But just looking over this balcony here on Rim Road, you can just really get a sense of just how vast this is and just what we're dealing with, what firefighters are dealing with, and how detrimental these winds are as these flames you see push up the hillside there. And I don't know if you can hear, but you can hear the chainsaws right down below me. I can see I can see the activity from where they're trying to chop off some of that vegetation. It's hard to see, but I spot two more aircrafts right over my head. So very active firefight. The firefighters said that, these are nightmare conditions. When they heard about the origin of this fire yesterday, they all knew that we're in for a serious firefight just because of how old these fuels are. And I've spoken to several residents up here in the Painted Cave community, and they all say this is very eerily reminiscent of that Painted Cave fire. But as you can see, this gives us a very clear point of view of the cave fire and what firefighters are doing as we speak. Live in the Painted Cave community, I'm Casey Drescher, News Channel 3.
But first we start with Casey Drescher with the very latest on the firefight. Casey.
I'm at a private residence here in the Painted Cave community, and you can really see what firefighters are up against looking at this landscape. Look at all that smoke. You can see the retardant drops there, and I have watched those crews work their way from the bottom here all the way to the top, working defense, trying to get a handle on the cave fire.
The cave fire is burning under some of the toughest firefighting conditions anywhere in the world.
Daylight brought with it hazy, smoky skies and a fresh vantage point of the cave fire's devastation.
Just a nightmare spot of right down the San Marcos Pass where the winds funnel.
And firefighters' Herculean efforts to protect the community, battling flames and extreme weather.
It's been quite the firefight. We've had winds moving up slope, down slope, across the slope. We've had firefighters engaging in structure defense, being pushed out and run out, and then turning around, come back, and getting right back on those structures.
With engines from Monterey to San Bernardino on the front lines, crucial air support whirled above. As hand crews were hard at work trying to create a fire break and cut down close to 30-year-old fuels.
The winds are onshore, so we're starting to push it back up on top. So that's the primary concern today. So we have the air tankers working up on top, East Cominosilla. They're trying to paint that roadway up there so it doesn't push over to the north side of the hill and burn into the forest.
Officials say close to 5,500 people evacuated. But Eric Foltz stayed behind to water down his San Marcos Pass property.
Waiting for embers coming, which I believe will probably happen tonight.
Foltz lived through 1990's painted cave fire and knows just how unpredictable these winds can be.
And as that cold front approaches, those winds are going to shift around and be a little more erratic.
Standing watch over his beloved community. Michael Miller with the Mountain Ember team, which formed after the Painted Cave Fire Department disbanded, will also be ready.
It's just been an honor to work with these people and to see how people are coming together. And in spite of any differences, that we just need to help each other through this.
Now, rains are on the way later this evening. Officials say they are concerned about some small rock slides along the 154, and that will create some hazards for some firefighters out in the field. Until then, we have to see what these winds will do. Live in the Painted Cave community, I'm Casey Drescher. Back to you.
All right, just an incredible vantage point. Thank you, Casey.